What if you could partner a creature with an enchantment? That's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to start off with, old boys, the Asarorak the Archleech. Sorry, Asarorak, I don't know how to pronounce your name. It's a 3-mana 5/5 zombie wizard. When it enters the battlefield, if you haven't completed Tomb of Annihilation, return Asarorak the Archleech to its owner's hand and venture into the dungeon. And where that dungeon leads, you don't want to know. And then also, whenever Asarorak the Archleech attacks, for each opponent, you create a 2/2 black zombie creature token unless that player sacrifices a creature. So the deal is, you put this thing in play and it just bounces right back to your hand. I mean, how do you progress the board? Well, we can do that with Allurant. This is a green 2 generic enchantment. Any player may play creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less without paying their mana cost as though they had flash. So all of a sudden, we'll be flashing this Asarorak back onto the battlefield, and we can just repeatedly play the damn thing and keep venturing into them dungeons. All right, we got Steve Cooper, who wants to get kicked out of the play group immediately with Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, and Exquisite Blood says, I have yet to pull the combo off, and you probably never would if you had to reveal that for the start of the game. So the 3-mana 1/3, whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And also, for 5-mana creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Now, the whole combo is with Exquisite Blood. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So it just keeps going on. You gain life. When an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. And then whenever you gain that much life, target opponent loses that much life. You can kill everyone at the table. So I don't know how you're going to survive this one, Steve Cooper. I mean, you revealed this. It may not even be a good strategy. This is the type of thing you're just asking to die immediately. Okay, Hanaria, the enchantment does not have to be the color ID. Correct. I will let that one slide. Just like partners. You can have partners of 2 different colors. Just to add a color of that. But the enchantment does not need to be legendary. I'll just leave that up. Enchantment does not need to be legendary because that might severely narrow down the possibilities of the show. Banovsky, obviously Kiki, Jiki, and Splinter Twins? Okay, so you want to have Kiki, Jiki. For the record, this is interesting because this doesn't combo. So you have Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker, the 5-mana 2/2 with haste. You can create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control. That token has haste. And then you want Splinter Twin. But what are you gonna copy with? You can't put this on Kiki Jiki. Because Splinter Twin's a 4-mana aura, similar to Kiki Jiki. You know, enchant the creature, tap it, put a token that's a copy of this creature onto the battlefield that has haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step. But you can't do that with Kiki Jiki. I mean, if you make a copy of Kiki Jiki, it's just going to die immediately. It's dead. It's a legendary creature. So what you have to do, it's an interesting try. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's interesting. You can put this on a Bedlam Reveler or something, and it's a mono red deck at that. I don't know what you combo with, to be honest, in a mono red Kiki Jiki Splinter Twin deck, because all the combo cards are blinking cards, things like Restoration Angel and Deceiver Exarch, Pestermite. So I don't know what you have available in the mono red territory, but hey, I'm all for you. You can do that. Okay, next up, let's take a look at. Oh God, the 260924 Shieldred. Shieldred the Apocalypse, and Oh, you want Phyrexian Arena? Oh, at first I thought you were going. You know what? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna save it for somebody else. Okay, we have Shieldred and Phyrexian Arena. You just want to draw some cards. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. No, yeah, this does work. It's not that broke. You're choosing the non-broken way of using this combo. So you gain whenever you draw a card. You gain Whenever you draw a card with Phyrexian Arena, sorry, I should say 3-mana enchantment at the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card, and you lose 1 life. But that's okay. The 1 life is offset by the Shieldred because you're going to gain 2 life. And of course, whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. So if they draw a card off of their Phyrexian Arena, if they so happen to have it, they're just going to get hit for 3 damage. Okay, next up, we got a super chat from Meme Brewly. The Runo Stromkirk and Quest for Ula's Temple. I barely know one of these cards. I definitely don't know what the other one is. Okay, what's the Stromkirk about? And you want Quest for Ula's Temple. Should be interesting. So, Runo is a 3-mana 1/4 Vampire Cleric with flying. ETB, put up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. All right. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal that card. If a creature card with mana value 6 or greater is revealed this way, we are going to transform the Runo Stromkirk into Crothus, Lord of the Deep. It's a Kraken Horror. Big Crabby Claws. 3/5 flyer. When it attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. If that creature is a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent, create 2 of those tokens instead. Okay, what does Quest for Ula's Temple do? It is a blue enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put a quest counter on Quest for Ula's Temple. That's it. We just reveal it. At the beginning of each end step, if there are 3 or more quest counters on the Quest of Ula's Temple, you can put a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent card from your hand onto the battlefield. It's a little work, but we are gonna create a Kraken army. Because whenever this thing attacks, we create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. And if it's a Kraken, which it's going to be, we're gonna make double those tokens instead. This is a more clunkier version of Ocelot Pride, a 1-card army making tiny little cats. It's Ibers! Okay, next up. Well, let's take a look at... Is it only enchantments, not auras? Enchantments are auras. They're both the same thing. They all work the same. Okay, let's take one from Lewis. Maha, It Feathers Night, and Night of Souls Betrayal. Oh my god. Some of you are not inconspicuous with your plans. Maha, It Feathers Night, the 5-mana 6/5 creature, which is pretty damn good by itself. If you want to kill this thing, you better discard a card because it's got ward. Creatures your opponents control have base power and toughness 1. And then we're going to have Night of Souls Betrayal. The 4-mana legendary enchantment. Wow, you actually made a legendary team here. Legendary creature and legendary enchantment. All creatures get -1/-1. Sorry, yeah, they all get -1/-1, which means all of your stuff is dead. Only the Maha deck survives. Kagan, thank you very much for your super chat. We got Abdel Adrian. And Necromancy. Okay, Abdel Adrian. Oh, we've seen this card before. The 5-mana 4/4 Human Warrior. You must like Abdel Adrian. When it enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you control until Abdel Adrian leaves the battlefield. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each permanent exiled this way. So basically, it's like an Oblivion Ring that creates a little army for you. How does Necromancy work with this? 3-mana enchantment. You may cast Necromancy as though it had flash. If you cast at any time a sorcery couldn't have been cast, the controller of the permanent it becomes sacrifices it at the beginning of the next cleanup step. What? When Necromancy enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, it becomes an aura with enchant creature. Put on the battlefield with Necromancy. Put the target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control and attach Necromancy to it. When Necromancy leaves the battlefield, that creature controller sacrifices it. What the hell is this? You know what? I want to read the old one. The old one might make more sense. You may choose to play Necromancy as an instant. If you do, bury it at end of turn. Ah, okay. So it's like a one-time shot. If you play Necromancy, choose target creature. Oh, in a graveyard. This is a graveyard-centric thing. Why are we playing this? What, just to bring this back? So what, it dies, you bring it back, and then with your Necromancy? I don't see the combo here. If there is a combo. It doesn't need to be a combo, though. I admit, it doesn't need to be a combo. It just looks very nice. Okay, let's look at Owl's Magus of the Moon. And Humility. Humility? What does he have to do? Oh, it's Humility. All right, so first off, are your lands Well, your non-basic lands, they're mountains now. And all those creatures you got in play, well, I'm sorry, all creatures lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1. And I'm assuming through layers, it's not going to remove this ability. Oh, yeah, it does not remove this ability. And all the creatures are still 1/1. So the Magus of the Moon still reigns supreme. Layers, people. So after you just say layers. Why are my lands still mountains? Layers. Martin, Ramanap Excavator, and Fast Bond. Now you need Scoot Swarm and Zuron Orb. You got the whole thing mapped out. All right, hold on. If you want Fast Bond, so the 3 mana 2/3. You can play lands from your graveyard. Great with the fetch lands. So you sack them, get a land. Land goes to the graveyard. Great if you're like salvaging or anything, milling cards into your graveyard to go get them lands, and Fast Bond brings them back. It's a 1 mana enchantment. You may play any number of lands on each of your turns, and whenever you play a land, if it wasn't the first land you played this turn, it'll deal 1 damage to, but that 1 damage is a small price to pay to ramp up into something big. I hear ramp is borderline broken in Commander. It's borderline broken. Hello, Nola. You say Nikachu, I say Nola. Worked perfectly. Okay, Kagan actually you can target Necromancy with Abdel when you bring him back. It goes infinite for the tokens. You can target Oh, hold on for a second. Thank you very much for that clarification. Let's look at Abdel again. Oh, so you have Necromancy on the battlefield first. Exile any number of non-land permanents. You exile the Necromancy. No, you bring... Oh, no. You do target Abdel. Abdel comes back. Target Necromancy. Necromancy leaves. Abdel goes to the graveyard. Can you stop the loop? Oh, yeah, I think you can just choose not to exile the Necromancy at some point. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely insane. Thanks for clarifying that, Kagan. I should have seen the Necromancy card first. Maybe if I saw that first, I could have put the pieces of the puzzle together. I can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. It don't work for me. Okay, let's take a look at the other super chat. We got Raptor with Wings with a Niv Mizzet Paran. Oh, you want Curiosity? There's like, I think there's quite a few Niv Mizzets that would combo off with Curiosity. Curiosity. Okay, Niv Mizzet. I'll tell you my favorite thing about Niv Mizzet. Heavy mana cost. Red, blue. I love it. No generic mana costs for me around here. Okay, it's a 5/5 dragon wizard. The smartest of all the dragons, I suppose. It's got flying. Whenever you draw a card, Niv Mizzet Prawn deals 1 damage to any target. But here's the deal. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. But now Curiosity says... enchant creature. Whenever enchant creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. So you're gonna draw a card, and then whenever you draw a card, deals 1 damage to any target, and then you deal a damage. And Curiosity says, "Well, you just keep drawing them cards. And then you just go and win the game. And then you've completely successfully taken over." This guy, it's probably going to make your opponents very, very nervous. Well, you still need to draw a card, I guess. You still need to draw a card, I suppose. I was just trying to think if you try to cast this with 7 mana up, with the 7th mana to be Curiosity. Still strong combo. Okay, Islarf with Arkham Dagson. You know, I started thinking I should probably learn how to use the keyboard without looking at it. I'm not one of those people. It probably would help for this show. And you want Encroaching Miko Sense. Okay, the Dagson. 4 mana 2/2. Tap. Target artifact creature's controller. You sack it. That player may search their library for a non-creature artifact card and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle their library. And you want the Encroaching Miko. This is an artifact! Enchantments, Islarf. This is the enchantment. We had an artifact show. All right. Well, anyway, this don't work. Okay, moving on. Let's give to Pedgeman. Pedgeman usually has to wait till like the 4th quarter of the show to get the combo going. Okay, maybe a too basic. Okay, let's have Intruder Alarm. You want Intruder Alarm and Kiki Jiki? Oh, yeah, that works. And Kiki Jiki. That's interesting. So Intruder Alarm is a 3-mana enchantment. Now, the creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step, but if a singular creature enters play, we untap everything. Kiki Jiki says, tap create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control. That token has haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. So we tap this to make a token. Token enters the battlefield. Intruder Alarm says, you know what? Let's keep the party going. And then you just keep going until you have infinite creatures to attack your opponents to death. Jasper Rab, back to basics and Blightsteel Colossus. These have like no synergy with each other. I'm for it though. Okay, so you have Blightsteel Colossus. Oh, it's not legendary. Damn. Okay, this is disqualified. The creature has to be legendary. Or I should say the partner card. I guess you can partner. No. It has to. The creature has to be legendary. The enchantment doesn't have to be. I saw where you were going there, though. I saw where you were going there. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Pacers Fan Forever, the Fevered Visions, and Nekusar the Mind Razor. Not exactly sure what this combo does. Okay, I'm sort of familiar with this card, the 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player draws a card. Now, if the player is your opponent and has 4 or more cards in hand, Fevered Visions deals 2 damage to them. Now, Nekusar, I guess you want to overload their hand with cards. It's a 5-mana 2/4 zombie wizard. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. You like cards? Have all the cards you want in the world! Whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekusar, Mind Razor deals 1 damage to that player. Death by 1,000 cuts, I see. Yes, by all means. Be greedy! I guess you put, like, what, the Rack in that similar sort of deck as well? No. The Rack is the opposite. Rack is trying... I mean, you could put the Rack in this type of deck, but the objective is still the same for the opponent, to get rid of all the cards in their hand. No cards are good. Title for these should be, like, what if any legendary MTG creature could partner? You know what? It's too long. That's the problem. Come on, it's pretty easy to follow. We're partnering here. When you partner, they're legendary. What non-legendary creature do you partner with in Commander? None! Multiple people? 1 person didn't get that. Maybe 2. They're going to learn along the way. Okay, next up, we've got... Oh, Magus of the Moon wasn't legendary? Oh, that's on me. Shame on you, Nikachu, you idiot! How could you miss that? I was just too excited to see a Magus of the Moon. Yeah, that one slipped through the cracks by accident. I set a bad example. Okay, let's take a look at Bulky. Mind over Matter. Oh, yeah, I played this combo a lot myself. Mind over Matter, choose and discard a card, tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land, and you want Arcanus the Omnipotent, which says tap, draw 3 cards. So you draw them 3 cards. You can spend at least 1 of them to use Mind over Matter to untap the Arcanus, basically draw up your entire deck if you really need to. Next super chat we've got I'm going to take from Nola. 9 lives and Platinum Angel. No broken combo. Hold on, is Platinum... I think you said something to the effect Platinum Angel isn't legendary. Oh, did I screw you? Alright, I'll edit the show. What if any legendary MTG creature? Or I could make a rule for super chats. For super chats, you can get around the legendary rule. So, hold on, you want... this is a very pay-to-win show, this is. Okay, hold on, you wanted Platinum Angel and 9 lives? So, Platinum Angel by itself is 7 mana 4/4 flying. You can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. What does 9 lives do? It's a 3 mana enchantment, hexproof. If a sorcerer would deal damage to you, prevent that damage and put an incarnation counter on 9 lives. When there are 9 or more incarnation counters on 9 lives, exile it. When 9 lives leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. Source would deal damage to you. Doesn't this just not work? Because you can still lose life. Like, Platinum Angel doesn't say you can't take damage. And then eventually your 9 lives just get sacrificed all the same. I mean, it's fine. You can play both. It's like insurance. They got to beat the 9 lives. They got to beat the Platinum Angel. But, like, there's no lock here. But it's totally fine by itself. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at Duke Firebird. Calyx. Guided by Faith. And Doubling Season. Okay, Calyx, the 3-mana 2/2 human druid, Constellation. Whenever Calyx or another enchantment enters the battlefield, you get a +1/+1 counter on your Calyx. Sorry, on target creature. Whenever Calyx or enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. Do this only once per turn. Well, once per turn? My ass. Because we have Doubling Season out here. The 5-mana enchantment. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it makes double those tokens instead. Of course, if an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many counters. Well, we nail both sides of this. You get double the counters on the first ability. You get double the tokens on the second ability. Okay, next up. The 9 lives get sacked, but you don't lose the game. Yeah, I know. I understand. But then you could have just had the Platinum Angel out. Like, if you took all the... what I'm trying to say is, like, the 9 lives was redundant. Like, you could still die with the 9 lives, but if you have just the Platinum Angel, I don't think anything changed. You know what I mean? Today's criteria? Well, it's in the title. It's in my opinion. Yeah, someone already... It was like one of the first ones. Veto and Exquisite Blood. It's been there. All right, Kagan. What else do you got for us? You got not directly a combo. It doesn't need to be a combo. I didn't say this is a combo show. You want Nahiri, Forged in Fury. And Fighter Class. It can be cool synergy. You could be sending a message to your friends. Okay, this is a 6-mana 5/4 core Artificer. Affinity for equipment. Could have had an equipment. Oh no, you can't have an equipment. That's an artifact. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. Whenever you play that card this turn, you may cast equipment spells this way without paying their mana cost. And then we got Fighter Class, Boros, mana. ETB, search your library for an equipment card. That will be great with my Nahiri. Reveal it, put it into your hand. Then for 3 mana, get to level 2. Equip cost you activate, cost 2 less to activate. And then for 5 mana, get to level 3. Whenever a creature you control attacks, up to 1 target creature blocks it this turn at combat if able. Whenever a creature you control attacks... Do I want them blocking my creatures? That doesn't sound good. I don't know if I want to go to level 3. I mean, I guess. You can, like, I don't know, death touch them down to the ground. Okay, Christopher B. With Okagachi and the Kami War. Yeah, both of them showed up here. Okay, we have Okagachi, Vengeful Kami for 6 mana, 6/6. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if that player attacked you during their last turn, exile target non-land permanent that player controls. So like a revenge creature. It also has flying and trample. And then we got the Kami War. This is another 6-mana enchantment. It's a saga though. Chapter 1, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls. It's the same thing as the creature, basically. Chapter 2, return up to 1 other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then each player discards a card. Chapter 3, exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield, transformed under its owner's control. And it shall transform into... It's back! Okagachi Made Manifest, the 6/6 Spirit Dragon. Okagachi. It sounds like Tamagotchi. That's what it's reminding me of. I could have got this Tamagotchi. I can feed it like every single day. Gotta clean up after it, clean up its poop. Anyone play with Tamagotchis back in the day? I had a few of them. Holy crap, was I addicted to that thing. I could have one right now on my phone. It's not as hot these days though. Flying Trample. It's all colors, by the way. When the Maid Manifest Okagachi attacks, defending player chooses a non-land card in your graveyard, return that card to your hand. Okagachi Maid Manifest gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the mana value of that card. Okay, let's now go to any Tamagotchi fans out there. No. I looked. Fab, no. With Leech's Mastery and Phage the Untouchable. There always has to be at least one Phage person around there. Phage the Okay, this is interesting. Leech's Mastery, 6 mana. You can't lose the game, all right? Losing the game is not allowed around here. Whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. Whenever you lose life, for each 1 life lost, exile a permanent you control or a card from your hand or graveyard. When Leech's Mastery leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. Well, we're playing with fire one way or another, but we gotta get the Phage the Untouchable onto the battlefield. Of course, when it enters the battlefield, if you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game. So what, are we gonna cheat this thing into play? How do you cheat it in play? Like, I swear the only way that we can play with this fairly, if it's our, like, commander, is we have to cast it, right? Like, am I not wrong? Am I not wrong? I don't think I'm wrong here. Anyway, so it seems like it's unnecessary to play Leech's Mastery. It looks like Phage would be better in the 75, but I see where you're going here. And of course, it deals combat damage to a creature. You got to destroy that creature, and then if it deals damage to a player, they're dead. They die right on the spot. Phage is a great friend of the show. Oh yeah, Phage shows up all the damn time. Azami and Fasting? Azami! Just tap and untap Wizard. You draw a card. How does Fasting work? At the beginning of your upkeep, put a hunger counter on Fasting. Destroy Fasting if it has 5 or more hunger counters. If you would begin your draw step, you may skip that step. If you do, gain 2 life. Whenever you just draw a card, destroy Fasting. This seems like a very awkward combo. In fact, it feels like it doesn't work at all. Whenever you draw a card, yeah, if you draw a singular card off your Azami, you're going to lose your Fasting. Let's see. Hold on. What do we got here? Okay, Z-Man Vader. No card yet. The Pride of Hull. Ooh, the Pride of Hull Clade. And you want High Alert. I haven't heard these cards in a long time. Okay, this is pretty self-explanatory. Come on, we're talking about me on this show here. Nothing is self-explanatory, but keeps the bent color combination from the normal Defender Commander. Interesting. So, 11 of mana for a 2/15 Crocodile Elk Turtle. Costs X less to cast, where X is the total toughness of creatures you control. Defender, also for 4 mana until end of turn. Target creature you control gets +1/+0. Gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. Draw cards equal to its toughness and can attack though it didn't have Defender. Then we have High Alert. The 3-mana enchantment. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. You are right, Z-Man Vader. I can understand. Even someone as stupid as me can understand that this thing's going to attack for 15 damage. What else does it do? Creatures you control can attack as though they didn't have Defender. Does this have Defender? It has Defender too! We got all the combos here. You really said, hey, I'm going to attack with the Pride of the Hull Clade, and you made it work. And then you can even untap it so it's on defense. It's great. It's good on attack, also good on defense. Oh yeah. Ferginka says, you heard the music. We're going to look at more combinations of your favorite legendary creatures and enchantments. But we got to thank our sponsor. Also, we got to thank FusionGamingOnline.com. I love FusionGamingOnline.com. The first place I go to buy all my Magic the Gathering cards. Duskmourn House of Horrors is coming out to a store near you. It's coming out at FusionGamingOnline.com. That's where it's coming out. If you need to upgrade your Commander, Pioneer, Standard, Modern, Legacy decks, I don't know, Pauper, go get them cards at FusionGamingOnline.com. I'm gonna get that. Something Drowner. It's a new Merfolk. I love it. It's very, very important. And also, don't forget the deal of the week. Save 15% off Guilds of Ravnica block singles. If you're missing Shocklands from your deck or a certain planeswalker, you might want to get them at fusiongamingonline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Your ability to play any deck, any format you want on Magic Online, which is all the paper formats as far as I know. And you can absolutely do that using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP for 10% off your first 2 months. And with that, let's take a look at more of them crazy, unique, creative, amazing partnered creatures. Okay, let's take a look at them super chats. We got the Wall of Skulls. That is a hell of a banger username. Have we done Niv Mizzet Prawn and Curiosity? We have! Oh, we have. That's basically a snipe. Sorry, Wall of Skulls. Give me a card. You know, I've never seen you super chat. Give me another card. I'm gonna keep you in mind, and we'll get. You deserve a super chat. Every good skull deserves a super chat. All right, John. Thank you very much for your super chat. Shieldred Apoc. Oh no. Did I do this one? And leeches. No, I think we've done those cards before, but not in this combination. Shieldred the Apocalypse. And then Leech's Mastery. Okay, so this is you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. So how does this work? You can't lose the game, but whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. So don't you just like draw your entire deck? Whenever you lose life, for each 1 life lost, exile a card. Whenever this thing leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. So whenever you draw a card, gain 2 life. Whenever you gain life, you draw that many cards. So basically, the card just says draw your deck, which is the pinnacle. This is the Scrooge McDuck strategy. Have a lot of cards in your hand. They can't beat you. Hopefully they can't beat. I mean, you're in mono black. They can still destroy this enchantment. Where you have counter spells. Not a lot of counter spells in black, in my opinion. Remember when they gave you P9? Oh yeah, they did. Now we got QTP. QTP is a great coupon code coming from Mana Traders. Okay, next. We have some commentary about QTP sounds dirty. I think it sounds like cutie pie. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, we got... oh, you didn't have to donate again, Wallace. You... Oh, no! Did you accidentally... Never seen me super chat? How dare Savala and Pemon's aura freed from the... Well, I have not seen you super chat either in a very long time, or I don't recognize this avatar. I think you accidentally put an extra 0 on there. Okay, let's look at Savala and Pemon's aura. So, oh, which one? We have a lot of Savalas here. How do you donate $50 and then don't give me the right Savala? Oh, not X. Oh, thank you so much for that ginormous super chat. Okay, but which Savala is it? Okay, I'll get Pemon's aura on here. Okay, Pemon's aura, and then we have Savala. Savala something. We'll get there. Okay, Pemon's aura is a blue 1 generic aura. Pay a blue, untap enchanted creature. So you have some good tapping synergy there, and also a blue enchanted creature gains flying until end of turn. You can pay a blue. Can't be the target of spells or abilities either. You come at my creature, come at my Savala. No, it's gonna get bounced right off. You could also buff your Savala if you really need to. You want Heart of the Wild. Okay, so this is the one that it combos off with. The 3 mana 2/3. Ah, because we do have an activated ability. By the way, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power. Now, for a green tap, add a blue. Add X mana any combination of colors where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Oh, so X is the greatest power. Do you? So, okay, you do have basically infinite mana. Yeah, you have infinite, and you also make infinite creatures. So, oh, no, you just have infinite mana. You have infinite mana. I think that's all I'm reckoning here. I thought we were getting a creature out of this. No, we don't. We got nothing. Okay, but that's good enough. Hey, infinite mana is not bad. Okay, let's go with... We'll go with just a random age. Progenitus? Okay, Progenitus and True Conviction. Okay, we have True Conviction is a 6-mana enchantment. Creatures you control have double strike and lifelink. So you're going to hit for harder, and also you're going to gain a lot of life while you do it. Oh my god, yeah, and it's Progenitus. It has protection from everything. But here's the good news. You can survive one hit off this damn thing if this is the commander. Because remember, you have 21 commander damage. You will survive. You'll survive good. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at Robert. Ooh, Marilyn the Morn Song. And Stranglehold. Oops, I am not spelling it. How did I get here? Marilyn of the Morn Song. Stranglehold. The 3-mana 2/3. It's an elf wizard. Players can't draw cards, not while Marilyn's around. And then at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life. But you can search your library for a card. Put it into your hand, then shuffle that library. Stranglehold, however, says it's a 4-mana enchantment. Your opponents can't search their libraries, so you can't draw cards. You can't search the library. If an opponent would begin an extra turn, that player skips that turn instead. So you basically brick the game here, right? The game's over. That's it. Whatever is on the battlefield, it's that's what you're going to be dealt with. So you have to deal with, as far as I'm concerned. What an awful prison combination to face off against. I can't draw any more cards, and also I can't search my library. So if you have like fetch lands in hand, they're basically dead as well. All right, next up, let's go Ugly Robot with Veldrain of Singer. Veldrain of Singer and Great Wall. This is an old-time combo. We're going old here. You could have had this combo a million years ago. Okay, Veldrain of Singer, 7-mana 5/5 for 3-mana Forest Walk and -3/-0 until end of turn. Okay, it gains Forest Walk. Okay, it gains Forest Walk. This is an upgrade, not a downgrade. I didn't understand what Forest Walk meant just by itself. And then the Great Wall. Creatures with Planeswalk may be blocked as if they did not have this ability. This is a complete troll here. You don't even have... Sorry, you do have planes. Yeah, you do. I was like, you don't have any planes in this deck. You're like a black deck. No, you do have planes, actually. You're playing the Great Wall. You're just being prepared for that Planeswalk metagame. I know the moment I play white, I'm going to get stomped by those like 6 creatures in the entire game that have Planeswalk. Next up, we take from Pabno, a tribute to the World Tree and Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. And you want Gwenna. And lots of low-cost 5-power creatures. Yes, of course. That's always the combo. All the other creatures that are still along the way. Okay, for 3 mana, we have an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card if its power is 3 or greater. Otherwise, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. I like that. That's a lot of value. You're going to draw a card or you upgrade your creatures. And then we've got Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia, the 3-mana 2/3. It's an elf druid scout. Tap, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activated abilities of a creature or creature card. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia, and untap it. And then also to tap it again. This is great. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at... Don't worry, I'm going to get to all the super chats. If you notice, the big super chats get done first before the smaller super chats. This is a very pay-to-win sort of game around here. But I will get to all the... I promise I will get to all the super chats. Ugly Robot is like, there are actually 8 whole cards that deal Planeswalk. I know we... Sorry, I don't remember. but we've gone over that many times. Kano with Darien, King of Keldor. You want Leyline of Vitality? Leyline of Vitality is the 4-mana enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, boop, it's on the battlefield. Creatures you control get +0/+1, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a whole life. Now, it's going to go well with Darien, King of Keldor, the 6-mana 3/3, because whenever you're dealt damage, you may create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. You deal 5 damage to me, I get 5 creatures, and we get 5 life. And they're like sort of big for the future. So when so basically, you come after the king, you best not miss. And you also best hit and kill me in one shot. It's basically deal all the damage at once or never, not at all. Because it's just going to give me an army for no reason. What are ley lines anyway? Says Banovsky. I don't know. You know, I don't even know half the vocabulary used in Magic the Gathering. I really don't. Okay, Bryce. Thanks for your super chat. Confusion in the ranks. And Xeris. The Writhing Storm. Okay, Confusion in the ranks. 5-mana enchantment. Whenever an artifact, creature, or enchantment comes into play, its controller chooses target permanent another player controls that shares a type with it. Exchange control of those permanents. We got to do the switcheroo. Its controller chooses a target permanent another player controls. Yeah, we swap with somebody else. That's chaos. Then Xeris the Writhing Storm, 5-mana 3/5 flyer. Whenever an opponent draws a card, except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, they create a 1/1 green snake. So they get a snake, which means they have to steal something else. This is just for like absolute like chaos, right? There's no strategic benefit to this thing. When it deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. So everyone draws cards. They get 1/1s. And when we do a battle, we're going to fight over each other's creatures like hot potato. Like the good old Primeval Titan days where everyone tries to steal the Primeval Titan at the table, at the board. Spinoza says, ley lines are some new age concept of magical power connections between holy sites. The holy. Ley line of the void. Okay, who else? Toilet Duck. You didn't get something yet, Toilet Duck? Raz, Akath, the Foul-Blooded, plus Central Elevator. How many elevators are in? Okay, we now have at least one. We have one elevator in this game. Okay, Razaketh, 8 mana, which is a lot of mana for an 8/8 demon. Flying Trample, pay 2 life, sack another creature. Search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle. How does this work with Central Elevator? So 4 mana, it's a room. Whenever you unlock this door, search your library for a room card that doesn't have the same name as a room you control. Reveal it and put it into your hand. I don't get it. There are lifts in MTG? Are there? What plane had a lift? I don't know of any. I don't know of any elevators. This is the first elevator as far. Sorry, they might have had one in New Capenna. Maybe, yeah. I could see it in New Capenna. They had like skyscrapers and stuff in that. I think they had skyscrapers in New Capenna. Mercadian lift. Okay, you got me. You got me, old boy. You're right. They did have lifts. Yeah, Capenna must have. Just aren't thinking. What does this do? I guess it's just 2 cards you want to have together. Which is fine by me. Okay, next up, we got Steve Cooper with Darien, King of Keldor, plus a donation. Okay, Darien, King of Keldor. Ugh. And a Johnny's Welcome. Oh, you have another King combo. Okay, so you want to take the Darien, King of Keldor, and mix it with the Johnny's Welcome. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you also gain 1 life. But the difference between this one is you're not splashing another color. At least the ley line. But the problem is that ley line is expensive. It's like 4 mana. This is like 1 mana. So I guess this is a little bit easier on your mana base. Okay, we got a donation from Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper is the Santa Claus of Coffee and MTG, and we'll give it to Tiger, Airbo, Roar of the World, and Felidar Retreat. This is a white-green 3 generic 5/5 cat avatar. Are you kidding? It's got Eminence. Oh my god. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if Airbo is in the command zone or on the battlefield, another target cat you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Whenever another cat you control attacks, you may pay 3. If you do, it gains trample and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is its power. Felidar Retreat says it's a 4-mana enchantment, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. You can create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. So just nice synergy. You know, this is for the cat deck. Next up. Okay, that was the donation. Now we just give one to the freebie section anyway. Julian, you've been here since the beginning. You didn't get one yet. You want Ambassador Laquatus, and you want Titan's Nest? Okay, this is a 3-mana 1/3. Pay 3. Target player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. So you got like a little bit of a mill strategy. Now, Titan's Nest says, at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. Exile a card from your graveyard. Add colorless. Oh, spend this mana only to cast a colored spell without X in its mana cost. So, do you want to deck yourself? Put the top 3 cards. You can put 3 cards into your graveyard, which fuels this thing to get 3 more colorless. Exile a card from your graveyard. Yeah, you can deck yourself. That is a thing to do. Make sure you don't throw away your... I mean, you'll see your Thassa's Oracle in the graveyard as you start milling yourself like crazy. Okay, next super chat. We got Lewis. Ereo plus High Noon. Huge fan of Ereo. Too bad it's banned in Commander. But you can just rule zeroed into the playgroup. Okay, we've got let's look at Ereo. Whenever the 4th spell of a turn is played, flip your Ereo. And then Ereo says you can't play Magic. Counter the first spell played by each opponent each turn. So basically, make sure you have 0 drops in your deck to get countered off of this thing. Then High Noon says each player can cast more than one spell each turn. Oh my goodness. You can also spend 5 mana to sack it, but to deal 5 damage to any target, that will be completely unnecessary. But you might have to sacrifice the combo because your opponents probably are not going to invite you back to play ever again, especially since this is so cheap. I mean, you do need to play like a lot of spells. You do need to enable this, but it's probably the least of your worries, especially when you have like the key combo card second afterwards. Okay, next up. We have Elternia with Hope of Girapur. Okay, it is a creature, and Magma Vein. I was like, it's not the artifact show, damn it. But it is a legendary creature. 1-mana 1/1. Flying, sacrifice it until your next turn. Target player who has dealt combat damage by Hope of Girapur this turn can't cast non-creature spells. And then we have Magma Vein, a 3-mana enchantment. Pay a red, sacrifice a land. It deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. I don't understand. I don't understand. Till your next turn, target player who has dealt combat damage by this can't cast non-creature spells. These just... Is this the right magma card? Is there any other magma cards? Did I read this right? Well, what was the combo? Magma Vein. Okay. I don't know what that does. Hope has flying. Magma deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Oh, I mean, okay. You could sacrifice all your lands, so that, yeah. I'm sorry. I was just looking into this way too hard. Okay, Wall of Skulls with a massive. Okay, we have a 10. You know what, Wall of Skulls? Because of your giant super chat, everyone who didn't get a card today, you're gonna have a card today. All thanks to Wall of Skulls. Here's a wacky one, John Icarus. I mean, sorry, Irenicus. With captivating glance. Build your deck around cards like Barbarian, Outcast, and Force Draw. It causes the stack to fill indefinitely. Interesting. So, Irenicus, the Shattered one, a 4-mana 3/3 Elf Wizard. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent gains control of up to one target creature you control. Weird. Put 2+1/+1 counters on it. Tap it. It's goaded for the rest of the game. And again, this creature can't be sacrificed. So you're going to attack every single turn. Or they're going to attack every single turn. But not you. Whenever a creature you own but don't control attacks, you draw a card. So they're going to attack on your behalf, and you're going to profit off of it. Then we have Captivating Glance, 3-mana and Aura. At the end of your turn, clash with an opponent. If you win, gain control of enchanted creature. Otherwise, that player gains control of enchanted creature. Are we putting this on your original creature? In your turn, clash with an opponent. Oh no, you can put this on your own creature. Are we trying to steal our own creature back? Or is that player gains control? I don't see that. I don't see how this. I don't understand how this is necessary. What was exactly the purpose of this? Build your deck around Barbarian, Outcast, and Force Draw. It causes the stack to fill indefinitely. I don't know how that works. So I'm just going to have to trust you on it. Okay, next up. You still have no card for Genka? So many regulars, no card yet. Okay, Perilous. Forays. And Green Sleeves. Are they Dragon Shields, though? 5-mana enchantment. Pay 1, sack a creature, search your library for a land card with a basic land type, and put it onto the battlefield. Tap, then shuffle your library. And then Green Sleeves. Okay, Green Sleeves. Green Sleeves Marrow Sorcerer. Is this Mark Rosewater with Green Sleeves? 5-mana Star Elemental. Protection from Planeswalkers and Wizards. Green Sleeves power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 3/3 green Badger creature token. Oh, and then so what? You can sack the Badger to go get more lands. So you sack your creature, go get another land card, put it on the battlefield tapped. And whenever you put the card onto when your land enters the battlefield, you get another 3/3 green Badger creature token. So basically, you like dig all your basics out of your deck like super fast. I like it. Next super chat we get from Kathan Griffith, Shield Dread the Apocalypse, and Necro Dominance. This is what I thought someone was going to suggest earlier. Shield Dread. Again, this is the fastest way to get banned from your play group, that's for sure. Shield Dread, whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life, and that's going to be important because with Necro Dominance, you'll want to pay almost all your life. Skip your draw step. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay any amount of life. I choose all of it. If you do, you draw that many cards. Your maximum hand size is 5. At the beginning, if a card or token would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Now, the key is that you may not want to literally pay all your life. You probably deck yourself. And again, your maximum hand size might be 5. Oh, but you need like Reliquary Tower. I think Reliquary Tower time stamps this out. Stamps out the damn 5-card hand limit. That's also a combo. Hey, Tear. You want Urabrask / the Great Work. Oh, is this the one? Does this have the Great Work at the... Yeah, this is the Great Work. And Underworld Breach? The broken card? The broken card? How do you use this? Can this break this? It's a 4-mana 4/4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to target opponent. Add a red. Oh, I see. So like maybe you just want to fairly get big value off of your Underworld Breach, because you'll probably cast instant and sorceries from your graveyard. Exile it, return it to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery, and only if you've cast 3 or more instant spells this turn. It turns into the Great Work. Chapter 1 deals 3 damage to target opponent and each creature they control. Chapter 2, create 3 treasures. Chapter 3, until end of turn, you may cast instant and sorcery spells from any graveyard. If a spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead, and then exile the Great Work. And so you just like to play from your graveyard. Same thing with Underworld Breach. Each non-land card in your graveyard has Escape. Escape cost is equal to the mana cost plus exiling 3 cards. You do have to sack this at end of turn, though. This would kill you? Would it kill you? Oops, let's see the front side to this thing. Deals 1 damage whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell or a brask, deals 1 damage to target opponent. No, this thing kills other people. That's how it would work. Oh, it must be in response to that's common. Must be in response maybe to the Shieldred combo. The Shieldred. Ristradin, Atraxa, the Grand Unifier, and Flicker Form. Okay, Atraxa. Effectively, Flying Vigilant, Death Touch, Lifelink, ETB, draw 1 billion cards off of the 10 that you look at. Then you got Flicker Form. Oh, enchant creature. Pay 4. Exile enchant creature and all auras attached to it, including the Flicker Form. Then guess what? You get to return it back to the battlefield. And Atraxa will combo again. I heard something yesterday. All Atraxa players think that they're playing a fair deck. They'll think so. All right, Kagan, thank you very much for your super chat. Last one I'll put in the queue. Sigarda, Font of Blessings. And Lich again. Lich is a very popular card here, it seems. Sigarda protects Lich, and white has a few cards that give you the player hexproof. You just have to prevent combat damage. Okay. Well, how hard is that? Okay, Sigarda is the 4-mana 4/4 flyer. Other permanents you control have hexproof. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may... so the permanents having hexproof is great, because Lich, it'll protect the Lich. And then whenever... you may cast angel spells and human spells from the top of your library. And then we have good old... actual Lich. ETB, your life... you lose life equal to your life total, but you don't lose the game for having 0 less life. If you would gain life, you draw that many cards instead. And whenever you're dealt damage, sacrifice that many non-token permanents. If you can't, you lose the game. When Lich is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you lose the game. Is there any way we can prevent... does this prevent us from sacking stuff? Does not prevent us from sacking stuff. I mean, other Sigardas do. Can't you just still die to getting making you sack all your stuff? Is this the right Lich? If you would gain life, draw that many cards. Whenever you're dealt damage, sacrifice that many non-token permanents. Okie dokie. Okay, let's take a look at a Blackbird, Kalitas, and Grave Pact. Kalitas made a pact with the grave and stands by that pact. The 3/4 lifelinking vampire, if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and put a 2/2 black zombie token onto the battlefield. Then put a 3, so for 3 mana, also sack another vampire or zombie. Put 2+1/+1 counters on your Kalitas. And then Grave Pact says, for 4 mana, it's an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, each other player sacks a creature. So for each creature that you sacrifice to grow your creatures, it's also going to make your opponent an absolute living hell. Okay, next up. We got Fireburn, Najila, the Blade Blossom, and Druid's Prosperity. Also love your show, Nikachu. Oh, thanks so much, Fireburn. You've been around for years. I know you love my show. Najila. You've been around for years. Druid's Repository. Okay, let's take a look at this. 3 mana, 3/2 human warrior. Whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. And for Wooburg, untap all attacking creatures. They gain trample, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Activate this ability only during combat. Okay, Druid's Repository is an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, put a charge counter on Druid's Repository. Remove a charge counter from Druid's Repository to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. That's going to be what we need to pay for Najeela's ability. For 5 mana, untap all attacking creatures. And then we get... So this like happens perpetually if we have 5 attackers, right? After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Shouldn't it be like limited to 1 per turn? Oh, but they don't expect you to have like infinite mana off of this. It's only through Druid's Repository that you're actually able to do this. Okay, so it's like fair-ish. But they probably should have done something like can only do this once per turn. Benjamin. Zaxara. And Freed from the Real. Zaxara, 4 mana, 2/3. Death Touch, tap, add 2 mana. Whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, create a 0/0 green Hydra creature token that put X +1/+1 counters on it. We making Hydras around here. That's a Hydra factory. And Freed from the Real is a blue, tap, and pay a blue, tap enchanted creature, pay a blue, untap enchanted creature. And this thing adds mana. We add 2 mana of any one color. So we get infinite mana off of our Freed for the Real. And then with it, when we cast a spell with X in its mana cost, we just basically have infinite mana. Hopefully we make millions and billions of Hydras off of it. All right, next up. Here, we'll do a donation from Lord Trevor. Thank you so much for the donation. Here's your next coffee break. Donate this to the crowd. Even though we have like unlimited... Okay, so because we got so many donations today, we are definitely going to be extending the show. Normally, I would just do super chats from here on out. But from here, we'll keep doing super chats and user-submitted cards. Like from Almond. Okay, Arcanus the... Oh, we did this one, Almond. We already got that one. We got Arcanus and Mind Over Matter. Let's get one from James. Chandler. Is that legendary? It is legendary. And you want an Orcish Mine. Chandler is just red, 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 tap, destroy target artifact creature. Very specific. Are we going to turn things into artifacts? Orcish Mine, 3 mana aura. I won't spare you the ancient scripture. Enters with 3 ore counters at the beginning of your upkeep, and whenever enchanted land becomes tapped, remove an ore counter from Orcish Mine. Whenever the last ore counter is removed from Orcish Mine, destroy enchanted land, and Orcish Mine deals 2 damage to that land's controller. This combo does nothing. This is not even a combo. But I didn't say it had to be a combo, so good enough. Chandler from Friends. Could be Chandler from Mr. Beast. There's no way you did not get a card. I swear you got a card at this point. Did you really not get a card? Really? Okay, I'm gonna get you Toilet Duck. We're gonna get your card, Toilet Duck. Okay, we have Baluna Grand Squall. And also Polluted Cistern. Whatever the hell that is. Yeah, didn't you give me the last room? You were the person that gave me the other room card. I swear you gave me a room card. Are you abusing the no card yet system? Okay, we have Baluna Grand Squall, 3 mana, 4/4 Giant Noble. It's got Seek Thrillus, mill 7 cards, then put all cards that have an adventure from among the milled cards into your hand. Trample, permanent spells you cast have an adventure cost 1 less. Permanent spells you cast that have an adventure? Oh, so you get cheaper on your permanent spells. Then we have, this is not an adventure around here. Okay, we have Polluted Cistern. It's a 2 mana room. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library, each opponent loses 1 life for each card among types. It loses 1 life for each card type among those cards. And then the second half is, whenever you unlock this room, mill 3 cards and return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, so it is sort of synergy with the milling part, right? Mill 7 cards, then put all cards that have an adventure from among the mill cards. Or maybe I didn't do the second half of the room for that last card. May we already be up for a second helping? No. We have so many people who haven't got even 1 card yet. Look, King Ginger doesn't even have a card. He's like a donating regular. Okay. I see the synergy between these two. Next up, we got Pabno. Leech's Mastery lets you play Phage without losing. But you're going to cast Phage anyway. Like, how do you cheat Phage? How do you cheat Phage onto the battlefield? Like, right? Like, if Phage is your commander, how do you cheat it? Oh, it doesn't come into play from your hand. Oh, that's right. I was like, yeah, it very specifically says it has to be cast from your hand. Thank you very much, Pabno. I have got to this so damn I'm so damn far into this game. Like, I never play against. First off, I don't play that much Commander. Second, I don't play against Phage very often. Yeah, I forgot. Like, you don't want Phage as your commander. It's an awful commander. Yeah. I'll take. If Nikachu fails badly enough at reading a card, it counts as no card yet. Okay. No, it does not. You have to correct me. It's all part of. It's part of the. What's it called? Engagement. It's part of the engagement. Okay. So we have to donate to John. Shifting Sky. And you want Llanowar Cephalid Empress. Lanawan, sorry. Or Lawan. It's Lawan Cephalid Empress. 3-mana enchantment. As Shifting Sky enters play, choose a color. All non-land permanents are the chosen color. Wait a minute. Isn't... okay, so is it... I believe you'd name blue? And then Lawan Cephalid Empress is a 4-mana 2/3. When it comes into play, return all blue creatures your opponents control to their owner's hands. Your opponents can't play blue creature spells. Ooh, this isn't like... It would also work with Painter Servant, too. But unfortunately, I think they can still cast the cards. All non-land permanents are the chosen color. I think they can still cast the cards, but they still get everything bounced back to hand. Next super chat. Calensis, Rograth, and the Call of the Ring. Rograth, son of... I can't imagine what the comment section is going to be like about that Phage thing. Call of the Ring. And it's not like I don't know that interaction, but in the moment, I just completely forgot about it. Okay, Rograth, son of Roga. It's a 0-mana, 0/1 Kobold Warrior, first strike, menace, trample, and it has partner. And then you're going to have the Call of the Ring, a 2-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, the ring tempts you. Whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. I don't understand this combo. Whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, partner, first strike, menace, trample. Is it like, is there some benefit to having a menacing ring bearer? I suppose. Doesn't the ring bearer normally have menace, like, generally speaking? Do you have a card today? Look, it's really competitive, Toads, today. Everyone wants to be on the show. I'm going to get to everybody. Okay, Pedgeman, you got a card. There's a lot of people who, they never even got one card. They didn't get squat. See, look, I don't think some pleb even got a card today. You've been skipping. No, there's so many people who haven't got a card. Everyone wants to be on the show. I say everyone going to be on the show today. Norin the Wary. And Intruder Alarm. Okay, Norin the Wary. 1 red, 2/1 Human Warrior. Whenever a player plays a spell or a creature attacks, remove Norin the Wary from the game. Return it to play under its owner's controller at end of turn. Intruder Alarm! Creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step. Whenever a creature comes into play, untap all creatures. Hold on, how does this work together? Whenever a player plays a spell. Okay, so you play a spell, Norin disappears, creature enters the battlefield, untap all creatures. So then you can attack, and return it to play at end of turn. So you attack, your Norin comes back, untaps all your creatures, and but your opponent's creatures stay tapped. That's a great idea. We have another big super chat. We have Wall of Skulls, and another $20. What is going on here? I struggle to catch you live, so I am getting to my donations in now. Just wanted to thank you for all the streams. You helped me a ton through some hard times. Welcome, Wall of Skulls. I am happy to hear that this show is very therapeutic for a lot of people. It helps people go to sleep. helps people through hard times, helps people through a lot of things. I like to hear that feedback. Therefore, this show keeps going on. We need more music. This is gonna be this might be a long one. It's almost like a pseudo combo show. Okay, okay, Toads, you got one? Okay, I'm glad you're not invisible. Here, I'll look for whatever the hell you say. The thing is, if you take the opportunity to make messages like this, then I can't see your combo. Toads, like, this is completely useless to me. Okay, you have Elish, Norn, Grand Cenobite, and Humility. Elish, Norn, Grand, Cenobite. +2, +2, +2 for me. -2, -2 for thee. And that's not going to be good. Hold on, does that... I don't think this works. Does this work? I don't think this works. What happens with what happens first? Anyone with... I would assume everything's just a 1-1. Because all creatures lose all abilities and have base power toughness 1-1, which means this thing also loses the abilities. Like, you can have both of them in your deck, but I don't know if... I actually don't think it does anything. But I don't know. Maybe I should Google this right now. Humility and Elish Norn. I'll just quickly Google it. Interaction help! Humility works in layer 6, removing Elish Norn's ability, which would have take effect in layer 7. So this combo, or I say the combo doesn't work, but you are actually still more than welcome to actually play those two together. Doesn't the -2/-2 add to the base? No, it's not like a permanent thing. It is only while Elish Norn is in play, or specifically while the ability is enabled. Layers. It's layers. It's a layers thing. Okay, what else do we have here? Scudiver Jr. We got Jorn, God of Winter. The front side. Thanks for helping me. I won't even look at the back side. And Freyalaze's Radiance. Freyalaze's Radiance. Okay, Jorn, God of Winter. 3 mana, 3/3. When it attacks, untap each snow permanent you control. And then we got Freyalaze's Radiance. The 2-mana enchantment. Commutative upkeep, pay 2. Snow perms don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Snow permanents don't untap during their controller's untap steps. It feels like we have snow permanents in our deck. Untap each snow permanent you control. We have to pay for this too? I don't get this. Told you should have skipped me. Oh, I didn't. I thought... No, you didn't say that. It counters other snow cards, but it's going to counter ours too. Snow permanents don't untap during their controller's untap steps. I understand if everything becomes a snow permanent. But this wouldn't even untap. Because when it attacks, untap each snow permanent. Oh, no, yeah, okay, so it untaps itself. Snow permanents don't untap during their controller's untap steps. It's like you're unnecessarily handicapping yourself. That's what I see here. That's what I'm getting. Okay, another Wall Skulls donation. Have we done Niv Mizzet Prune? Yeah, that was the original one. So I decided I was going to save that later for a donation. Okay, we'll give this one to... I don't know if Beanpot got one yet. Okay, we got Felia, the dog. The stupid dog. And Parallax Wave. Oh. Okay, so we got the Felia the dog. 2 mana, 2/2 flash doggy dog. When Felia attacks, exile up to one other target non-land permanent. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Felia. And I guess we want to jank around with Parallax Wave. The 4-mana enchantment with Fading 5. Remove a fading counter from Parallax Wave. Exile target creature. When Parallax Wave leaves the battlefield, each player returns to the battlefield all cards they own exiled with Parallax Wave. There's like an interaction, I think, that you could you remove all the counters to exile something, then you can exile Parallax Wave, and then you wipe everything out completely for permanently. But the problem here is that this needs to trigger first, and there's no opportunity, and it triggers on attack, so you can't permanently get rid of things. You can still do stuff. I mean, it's still, you can perpetually, you know, jank around with people's creatures. That still works. Toilet Duck wasn't supposed to get 2. I got confused, and then when I saw another room card, the problem is I didn't actually read through the whole thing of Toilet Duck. I didn't read all of Toilet Duck's card. All right, Kagan's got super chats over here. How about Myoти, Moog, Ancient, and Living Plane? Yoti, and Living Plane. This is a 4-mana 2/4 elemental. Enters the battlefield. Create a 1/1 green forest dryad land. Oh, a dryad arbor. For each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. At the beginning of each combat, land creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is Yoti's power. Living Plane says, all lands are 1/1s, and they are still lands. So how does this work? So all lands are 1/1s. Land creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is Yoti's power. Oh, you're creating an army. An army of 1/1s. Then they all get as big. So you guys make lands as you have. You get that. You have an army of creatures. Evan has a good one. Okay, let's look at Evan's card. Obnixilis. The Captive Kingpin. And all will be one. Obnixilis, 4-mana 4/3 demon. Whenever one or flying and trample, whenever one or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, put a +1/+1 counter on Obnixilis Captive Kingpin. Exile the top card of your library until your next end step. You may play that card. What does all be one do or say again? 5 mana, whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, all will be 1 deals that much damage to target opponent. A creature an opponent controls or planeswalker an opponent controls. So you get counters, you deal damage, and Obnixilis says whenever 1 or more opponents lose exactly 1 life, put a +1/+1 counter. Oh, that's interesting. So we get 1 counter, deal that much damage. We get 1 counter, we deal 1 damage of life. Wow, this is an infinite combo. You deal 1, you dealt a life. Okay, you get a counter, and you keep repeating this process until everyone is dead. Jasper says, how much do I have to super chat to be able to spam the bounce bot in custom cards on the Discord? Nothing. There's no amount of money. You cannot spam the bounce bot. It will get you banned. Don't be like the second person ever to be banned in my Discord. Okay, we got, who else do we have here? Hexenort with Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. This is 5 mana for a Star Elemental. Power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control, and also non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to the other types. And you wanted Zendikar's Royal. 5-mana enchantment with Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 green elemental creature token. Okay, so we get its power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. Non-forest creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. Non-token creatures you control are forests. So, so the 2/2 elemental is actually a land, and the land will trigger. Does this go infinite? Like, do you just lock the game? I don't know how you stop. Whenever land enters the battlefield and control, create a 2/2 green elemental. Non-token. Oh, sorry. It's non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to other types. So this doesn't count because these are tokens. Token creatures don't work with it. Yeah, I see. I see that now. So it's just some sort of synergy, but I thought there was something bigger. Whenever land enters the battlefield, you get a 2/2 green elemental. Non-token creatures you control are forests. Its power is equal to the number of lands you control. It's just cards. It's just cards. Okay, next up we got John. Instigator plus no mercy. Thank you very much for your super chat, John. Oh, here's Instigator. It's not legendary. This is not a legendary creature, John. Damn. I feel so bad for John. Waited an eternity to hear that the card got disqualified. Poor John. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at YS. Axis of Mortality. And Evra. Halcyon Witness. Pretty costly, but easy. Very nice. This is a giant rose or something. Okay, we got a 6 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may have 2 target players exchange life totals. Ooh. Then we have Evra, Halcyon Witness, 6 loyalty. Sorry, 6 mana for a 4/4 avatar lifelink. Pay for exchange your life total with Evra's power. Oh my god. Okay, so we first exchange the life total with power. So we get like nothing. So we're shrinking down to 4. But then we're gonna do the switcheroo with someone else. We're gonna at the beginning of your upkeep. This is dangerous. Like this is supremely it like you could die, right? Oh no, I guess you could activate this at the end of somebody's turn. Yeah, you can before your next turn, you could pay for. Okay, that works. Yeah, that works. Interesting. Very interesting idea. And we got Almond here with Vrondis Rage of the Ancients. With a Ether Flash. Anyone with no card yet? Everybody's gonna get a card today. Don't worry, Nikachu is the Santa. I'm not Santa. But everyone's gonna get a card today. We got a 5 mana 5/4 Dragon Barbarian with Enrage. When Vrondis is dealt damage, you may create a 5/4 red and green dragon spirit creature token with when this creature deals damage, sacrifice it. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, this is a die roll. We like to go to the casino with this card. You may have Vrondis deals 1 damage to itself. Okay, so this is like a good die roll card. Die roll deck card. Ether Flash, 4 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature comes into play, it deals 2 damage to it. Okay, so ETB deals damage to itself. You get a 5/4, which means you get a 5/4 when a creature deals damage. When this creature deals damage, sacrifice it. So you just basically get like a 5/4 every single time this thing comes into play. For reference, Nikachu failed to read Promising Stairs, and it's important with Razaketh the Foul-Blooded because you can use Razaketh to search out enchantments for Promising Stairs WinCon. Explain it to me, please. Some of these cards are complicated, especially if especially with a room card. That's not easy to interpret on the fly. Remember, this is all streamed live. This isn't pre-recorded. It's like live on TV. Not King Ginger, Maha, nice. Oh no, we've done that one, King Ginger. Did we do Night of Souls Betrayal? I'm pretty sure we did Night of Souls. Did we do that one? We did do that one. Did we do? Yeah, we did that one. Sorry about that, King Ginger. Give me another one, King Ginger. Get on the board. Get on the scoreboard, please. Okay, we have someone named Nadu that wants Nadu and Cocoon. Nadu is gonna. Well, this is like before Nadu became Nadu. Once upon a time, Nadu was a caterpillar of some sort. Okay, 3 mana, 3/4 bird wizard, flying. Creatures you control have whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's land, put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, you basically draw the card. Cocoon. Aura, enchant creature you control. When it enters, tap enchant creature and put 3 Poopa counters on it. It doesn't untap during your untap step. If Cocoon has Poopa counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a Poopa counter. If you can't sack it, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature, and enchanted creature has flying. I don't understand this. Nadu, aren't you banned? Well, not in chat. Banned from competitive. Sorry, banned in modern. Very legal in legacy and commander. You get a poopa counter. Got something new, King Ginger? Get us something new. Okay, Islarf wants redemption. So let's take a look at this. Urza, Chief Artificer, and Mechanized Prod. Urza, Chief, and Mechanized Prod. Okay, 6 mana, legendary creature, 4/5, affinity for artifact creatures. Artifact creatures you control have menace. And also, at the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. And you want the mechanized. Actually, don't know which one it was. You wanted the production. Okay, that is a 4 mana aura, enchant artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. And then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game! Artifacts you control have menace. At the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0. Ah, okay, so they're all gonna be constructs. I'm sure you're gonna make a construct army and then win the game like that. That's a very clever way to win. Okay, next up. Don't know if Ron L got a card. The Mind Skimmer. Sorry, not skimmer. Skinner. Skimming the mind and fraying sanity. Okay, this is triple blue for a 10/1 nightmare. It can't be blocked. And if a source you control would deal damage to an opponent, prevent that damage, and each opponent mills that many cards. And then fraying sanity. I believe fraying sanity says like let's just read it. It's a 3 mana aura curse. Enchant player. At the beginning of each end step, enchant player puts the top X cards of their library into the graveyard, where X is the number of cards put into that graveyard anywhere this turn. Yeah, I just remember it doubled the milling. So we don't deal damage and damage around here. We deal damage in the form of milling. And we're gonna mill you out here. What this card does, it just says your milling creatures have double strike. Essentially. Now it says, Nikachu, help me. The Pinkertons are coming for me after my ban. Why would they come after you? They don't even care at that point. Pinkertons only care about you if you're spoiled too early, Nadu. You're spoiled perfectly on time. Okay, let's take Wall Skulls. With the amazing super chats today, Wall Skulls. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Not a suggestion, just Tranquil Grove fan post. Whatever combo you guys are bringing to the Enchantment Partner Pod, I'll bring Tranquil Grove. Checkmate, nerds. Nerds we are. Okay, how about that? For this, let's give you your second card, Pedgeman. Let's get you your second card. Squee the Immortal and Food Chain. I guess no one wanted to steal your combos. And Food Chain. Because you can play it from exile. Squee the Immortal, 3 mana, 2/1. You can cast Squee the Immortal from exile, or from the graveyard. But Food Chain says exile creature you control, add X mana of any one color, which is going to be red, where X is 1 plus the exiled mana's value. Exiled creature's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. So you basically get infinite mana for only creatures, though. Then only cast on creatures. It's like a special coupon or something. Next up. Who is next up? The big squig. Rowan, Scion of War. And Necropotence. We haven't got one Necropotence on the show today. Rowan, Scion of War, 3 mana, 4/2, Menace. Tap spells you cast this turn that are black and or red. Cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you lost this turn. Interesting. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, that's hard, though. Oh, no. You could, yeah. You could pay life. Okay, so we're going to pay life with Necropotence. Skip our draw step. And if we discard a card, it gets exiled. So pay 1 life to put cards face down away. So we like drain our life down to reduce the cost of our spells. On top of that, well, we're drawing cards here. It's actually one of the more unique combos I've seen today. The most interesting combinations are the ones that are not outright broken, because the ones that are outright broken, we already know about them. We probably already know about all those cards. All right, Jess, I have no idea how long it took you to wait for this card, but you've got it. The Ur-Dragon. And Acolyte of Bahamut. Is it the... Yeah, it's the Ur-Dragon. Doesn't help me that they made 2 Ur-Dragons. Acolyte of Bahamut. This is 9 mana, but it's a 10/10. It's got Eminence. As long as it's in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. It's got Fly. Whenever 1 or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards. Then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. That's like a one-sided show and tell. But for 9 mana, it better be. And then Acolyte of Bahamut, it's a 2-mana legendary enchantment. It's a background. Commander creatures you own have the first dragon spell you cast each turn cost 2 less to cast. Do we really need the commander creatures you own? Oh, I see. So I was like, if you have 9 mana, do we really need the discount? But do you know what? This thing's not out yet. So we can actually turn this thing from 9 mana to 7 mana. Bryce, you're thinking, yeah, you're back. You're back and better than ever. Just a random mage at Angus Mackenzie and the Awakening. I think we're at the point. I mean, if you have no card yet, give me the no card yet. If you got a second card, I'm all for it. I think we're ready for seconds. Now you can say no 2 cards yet. Okay, 3 mana for the 2/2. Pay Bant and prevent all combat damage dealt this turn. And the Awakening. This is a 4-mana enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, untap all creatures and lands. At the beginning of each... Oh! So basically, like, okay, no, you don't deal any damage to me. And you know what? I tap my lands and my mana, but the Awakening says I get it over and over again. Zealous Conscripts is not legendary. Your suggestion will be disqualified. Oh yeah, it has to be... the creature has to be legendary. Chris Bonehead. Kitsa. The Otterball Elite. And Profts. Eidetic Memory. Okay, 2 mana, 1/3. Otter Wizard. Vigilance and Prowess. Tap, draw a card, then discard a card. Or you can pay 2, tap. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only if Kitsa's power is 3 or greater. And then Profts. Enters battlefield, draw a card. You have no maximum hand size at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. So you can draw and discard a card, so you're at... Oh yeah, so now we've drawn 2 cards of the turn. So we put a counter on this thing. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only if Kitsa's power is 3 or greater. Kitsa, we're going to upgrade you. You're going to be better than ever. Super chats can use non-legends. I will be lenient. I'd rather you don't... You know, the super chatters, they can break some rules, but you can't break too many. Okay, King Ginger has another card. Ishin and Dollmaker's Shop. Did you even get 1 card? Sorry, one suggestion, King Ginger, today? Ishin! What is Ishin? Like, I've heard Ishin a million times. Ishin this, Ishin that. This is going to be great in my Ishin deck. I don't know if I've ever read this card before. So this is the Ishin. It's a Marduk 3/4 human samurai. This is I thought Ishin was like a dragon or something. This doesn't sound like a human samurai to me. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Oh, it's just a double trigger creature. In before super chats, posting custom cards during AI streams. Okay, Dollmaker. So we want Dollmaker's Shop. It's a 2-mana room. Whenever one or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. Correction, we make double those tokens. How about the other side? Porcelain Gallery for 6 mana. Creatures you control have base power and toughness, each equal to the number of creatures you control. I don't know why you need, of all the cards you could choose Dollmaker's Shop. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers a second time. Read both sides. Creatures you control have base power and toughness, each equal to the number. Oh, I see. Okay, so if you make a lot of 1/1s, they all get enormous. I don't know. Does the person who makes a Nadu account also have a Hogak account? Hogak, and there's no way this is a coincidence. Or it's very unlikely. And Cycle of Life. What is a room? It's a new card. New card type coming out. They're not even legal yet. They will I think they'll be legal tomorrow. Hogak, Arisen Necropolis. 7 mana, 8/8. Can't spend mana to cast this spell, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. It's got Convoke and Delve. You can cast from your graveyard, and it has Trample. Cycle of Life, the 3-mana enchantment. Return Cycle of Life to its owner's hand. Target creature you summoned this turn is a 0/1 until the beginning of your next upkeep. At the beginning of your next upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. This is an absolute troll. I know what I'm getting. Now we're getting trolled here. We got Galad, just say Galahad, Pant Laza, and Teleportation Circle. Let's take a look at Pantlaza. It's a dinosaur. When Pantlaza or another dinosaur enters the battlefield under your control, you may discover X. Oh god, where X is that creature's toughness. Do this only once each turn. Teleportation Circle. 4-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target artifact or creature you control. Then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Beginning of your end step? So... Ha! Said we could only discover X once per turn. Well, not if I blink it. I think I think I shall discover more than once per turn. We might do it twice. Did you seriously have no card after this entire show? Crowcore Games? You also get like a free super chat from another super chat you donated a long time ago. Okay, we got Determined Iteration and the Master Multiplied. I make 3 copies. Oh, I make 1 more. It has haste, which makes 3 more tokens, and none of them sacrifice to the enchantment or the legend roll. Okay, let's look at the... So, Determined Iteration, 2-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, populate. The token created this way gains haste. Sack it at the beginning of the next end step. The Master Multiplied, 6 mana for a 4/3. Myriad. The legend rule doesn't apply to creature tokens you control. Triggered abilities you control can't cause you to sacrifice or exile creature tokens you control. So we're going to make tons of this one. Tons of the Master Multiplied. Yeah, make 3 copies. Oh, I make 1 more. It has haste, which makes 3 more tokens. Is that how this is going to work? We have combat. The token gains haste. Sack it at the beginning and end step. Triggered abilities you control. Oh, you can't sack at the end. Oh, that's actually sweet. So actually, this thing had it randomly has a very relevant effect for the Determined Iteration. That's amazing. Myriad makes attacking copy. Right. Yeah. So you give tokens to everybody else. Everyone, fight each other. Wall Skulls! Another super chat. Thank you so much, Wall Skulls. Can I say Norin the Wary as my legendary creature and Perforos God of the Forge as my enchantment? Yes! I would accept that. So, Norin the Wary. Oh yeah, this does work in a very janky way. Perforos. Because it is a... at least one side is an enchantment. Okay, Norn the Wary, 1 red, 2/1. Whenever a player attacks or a creature attacks, remove Norn the Wary, and it will be back. But then we got Purfro's God of the Forge. It's an indestructible 4-mana legendary enchantment creature. As long as your devotion to red is less than 5, it's not a creature at all. It's just an enchantment. It's a 6/5er, though, if it is a creature. But whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Purfro deals 2 damage to each opponent. So Norn the Wary keep coming back, smack you for 2. And also for 3 mana, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. No, it makes 3 copies of itself, 1 attacking each player. I only play commander. Oh, it only... Oh, sorry. So you don't get 1 for yourself. It's just... yeah, I thought 3, but I forgot that you have 3 opponents, so they all get a token. That is correct. West Coast Games with Sithis and Sterling Grove. Not a bad combo. Not a bad combination. Sithis is a 2-mana 1/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life and draw a card. That's actually a lot of value. This is actually a very strong synergy here. Then we have Sterling Grove for 2 mana. Other enchantments you control have Shroud. So now you can't even touch my Sithis Harvest Hand, which is also an enchantment. And then pay 1, sack it to search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, and put that card on top. So you effectively have like a perpetual tutor here. Almond! All right, you coming back to redeem yourself, Almond. I saw yas. Xeris. The Writhing Storm and Colossification. Colossification. This, of course, is the flying creature. Opponent draws a card, except the first one they draw on each of their turns. Create a 1/1 green snake creature token. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. So what do you want to do with this? I don't get it. Enchanted creature gets +20/+20.
No, God, please, no.
Are you gonna put on your 1/1? Oh, you want to put it on the Zithris, and then you are going to smack someone for like what, 23? Hit him for 23. Draw that many cards, and then you really cashed in on that attack. Colossification on Colossal Dreadmaw. This person does have like 1 million troll accounts. Okay, we're gonna finish off with Omniverses, Sliver Queen, and Mana Echoes. Classic combo. Okay, Sliver Queen, the 5 mana, 7/7, pay 2, put a 1/1 Sliver onto the battlefield. And Mana Echo says whenever a creature enters the battlefield, add an amount of colorless equal to the number of creatures you control that share a creature type with it. If you got, what is it, I think 2 or more Slivers on the battlefield, that goes infinite. I actually only have 20 troll accounts, and one of them is probably a grave troll or something. All right, thank you very much for being here today. If you want to be part of the show, you gotta be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thank you so much for being here today, because without all of you, I'd have no show. You guys are everything to me. People like Kano and Colossal Dreadmaw, and Hogak, and Nadu, Christopher B, Nyansa. We have Ron L, Crowcore Games, Jasper Rab, Chris Bonehead, Tom Squires, Tiger for Ginka, Old Boy Benjamin, Jess, Ron L. Oh my god, hello. The Big Squig, Toads, Kano, Crowcore Games, Almond King Ginger, Bryce, a random mage. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.